Thanks for joining Wolfbill. 2020 an interesting year to say the least. And looking forward to 2021, I think we can all agree that we are looking forward to 2021 being more positive than 2020. One thing that is certain is that no one has a crystal ball. What we can reasonably expect is that we are in a very exciting time of technological evolution. To build wealth over the long term, we must look at what problems exist and what solutions may be possible in 2020 and beyond. The Pew Research Center canvassed experts to identify the innovations they predict by 2030. Early adopters and investors of these innovations may be able to build wealth by embracing these disruptions. So, without further ado, here's some of the biggest disruption opportunities that will come about in the next 9 years. Social media evolution. As time passes, skepticism about what is posted as news or truth online becomes more prevalent. Whether it's done by government intervention for people voting by usage of media outlets, it is predicted that existing media outlets such as TV, radio, and social media applications will need to evolve to decrease misinformation. Otherwise, new alternatives that are created will make existing platforms obsolete. The innovation that can be created by the need to have access to factual information may generate development of new social media spaces. What we recognize today is that the need exists. To a certain degree, government intervention is already starting, with inquiries into the current largest tech companies to determine if antitrust and anti-competitive practices are in place. Questions are increasingly being raised as to whether the larger tech organizations should be broken up to foster innovation and growth. Faster identification of misinformation. This is already happening today and will continue to increase as time passes. The public, consumers, and governmental bodies are increasingly demanding that social media platforms have a duty to notify the public when misinformation is being published on their respective platforms. The good this does to the public is that the consumer of information is able to have access to factual information and more clearly identify when misinformation is being disseminated. If social media companies resist this practice, they will become obsolete, as consumers will gravitate towards platforms that will allow them to formalize impressions based on accurate and factual information. Social innovation. Increasingly, experts believe that people will be drawn together based on ideas and shared values. No longer will geographic location limit networking and connectivity. This will facilitate greater activism to improve communities, regions, and countries. This will increase even further as more of Earth's population gains access to the internet. In doing so, new problems will emerge will require new solutions, which will in turn drive growth for technological innovation. Healthier living. The health sector will experience increasing growth in physical and mental health. With the introduction of smartphones, connectivity online has increased. This allowed people to connect with family daily, despite geographic location. It's become easy to post a quick video or photos for family and friends to see and interact with. Then it begins to intrude in personal development and developing bonds with those family members in the closest sphere. Can you think of the last time you spent time with your kids playing a board game or just having a conversation that lasted longer than 5 minutes? Even you, as you're watching YouTube now, is your mom or dad or son or daughter doing something else online in another room? They might be sitting down in front of you on their phone and you on yours. There is a need to re-engage locally, and innovation will be generated based on this need. In the physical health space, the convergence of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and genetic science will lead to exponential growth in the development of therapies and medications designed to treat and cure diseases and conditions. The biotech industry is expected to experience exponential growth in 2021 and beyond. Artificial intelligence. AI has already begun to make its presence known in all industries. From the manner in which groceries are replenished at your local supermarket to how your car will drive you to pick up those groceries. AI is here to stay to generate efficiency and make life easier. With that comes a new set of problems, as it is predicted that AI will increasingly make low complexity jobs obsolete. To avoid being caught up in a job or industry that will disappear, invest in new skills and education to make yourself more marketable. Learn a programming language. Learn how to analyze and manipulate data. If you work at a company, job shadow with someone that deals with significant complexity. Environmental pressures. Innovation will come about because it is needed. Whether you think climate change is man-made or not, climate change is measurable and more visible each year. Currently, it can be measured by increasing insurance payout costs because of increased frequency of natural disasters, in the form of wildfires, hurricanes, and tornadoes. Innovation will be needed to either develop construction innovation to withstand these disasters or develop insurance models that can mitigate the negative effects of severe weather events. As reservoirs and freshwater bodies continue to fail to meet the demands needed of the world populations, innovation in creating freshwater solutions will be required for ongoing survival needs. So how do you invest in these disruptive areas? Watch more videos so they can stay up to date. I will be working on a series that explores companies and organizations that are striving to solve many of these problems in the next decade and beyond. For now, the best strategy to implement in order to benefit from these changes is to embrace the notion that the changes will occur whether you want them to or not. So the best thing is to remain open to new technologies that strive to solve the problems we will face as a society and world citizens in the years to come.